everyone, welcome to Techie and I'm Rohit. So today's topic is a very important topic in Java language, that is OOPS concept. So we're gonna discuss about all the OOPS concept separately. I'll be making a different videos for each topic and a consolidated video for each of the topics. So first we're gonna discuss about what all the things are present in OOPS concept. First one is class and object that I've already shared a video. You can go through that. Now here comes the inheritance part. After that we have polymorphism. Further we have abstraction and we have encapsulation. Then we have association, then aggregation, then composition. So we're gonna be discuss about all of the things one by one. So first we are going to start with the class. I'll be quickly covering it because we have already discussed about it. So class is a collection of objects. It is a logical entity, and a class can also be defined as a blueprint of an individual object. So like this is the template how you're gonna declare your class. Public class, this is the class name, and curly braces open and curly braces close. The second thing is an object. An object that has a state and a behavior is known as an object. For example, a chair, a pen, or a table. So for creating an object you need a class, and inside that you need a main method, and for creating an object you need a class name. On the both sides of is equal to, you're going to provide a object name. It can be any variable like a b c d, and this new keyword is going to generate the object of this class object es, that is obj1. It is an object. Fine. So now moving towards inheritance part. So when one object acquires all the properties and behavior of a parent object, it is known as inheritance. It provides code reusability. It is used to achieve runtime polymorphism. So now we're gonna discuss it briefly. Let's suppose there are two classes, a father class and a child class, and father class contains some properties such as color, height, weight. And let's suppose the child class is acquiring all the properties of its father, like the similar look, similar height after achieving a certain age, and same blood group. Then it will be known as inheritance. So let's see this video and you will be able to understand it quickly. So here you can see we have a class called employee. It has one property called float salary 20,000. We have another class programmer, that is extending this class employee. Extend means it gonna acquire all the properties of this class, because after that we are mentioning employee class. So it is extending employee class. It will go to the employee class and it will see what all the properties it is containing. So it will acquire this property. After that, coming into this class programmer, we have one more property, int bonus 1000. Now in the main method we are creating an object of programmer named p. This is an object. Now using this p, can we call this property? Yes, we can call this property. This is what inheritance is, because the child class here programmer is extending this class, so it is automatically gonna take this property into this class. So let's see an example. Employee salary is p dot salary. Using the p object and the dot operator, we are calling this property. So you can see that this property is outside this class, but we are able to bring it here. So p dot salary, and after that system dot out dot println bonus p dot bonus, and this property belongs to the same class. So after running this program, you can see employee salary is to 20,000. Part of employee we are printing it into the program, and the property of the same class again we are printing it here only. So the bonus is 1000. One more example. Here you can see there is a class called dat containing properties or attribute as string surname Sharma, string color brown, and int money 1000. So let's suppose a child of dad is class child, and very most important thing for applying the inheritance, you need this extend keyword, and that is extending the dad class. So just after writing extends, it's very easy to understand that it gonna achieve all the properties of that class. So let's suppose this all came under this. Now this child class has its own property such as string name Rohan, double height 5.5. Now in the main method, we are making an object of child class, that is child class only, and the object name is ch. Now see the magic. Now what we are doing, we are just inculcating all the properties of that class. How? Like this. This is only a string. What it will do, it will just print this thing, the same thing, whatever it is written here, like child name. Now from here, ch, we are using the object, and using the dot operator, we are calling the properties. First property we are calling is name. So name belongs to same class, that is a child class only, Rohan. After that we are giving an space, and now we are calling the surname. It is very obvious that the surname of a child, that is Rohan, will be the same of his father name. Fine. So what it will print is Rohan plus Sharma, that is Rohan Sharma. After that we are just inculcating the color. Let's suppose the father color is brown, so the child color will also be brown. It's just an assumption. Let's suppose child height is something that is 5.5, and the child owns the same money which his father owns, because after all he is the only one who gonna achieve all his property. So now after running this program, you can see child name is Rohan Sharma. Rohan is the child name of himself, and what the property he is gonna achieve from his dad class is Sharma. So you can easily see, now you will be able to understand how this inheritance work. It can achieve all the properties of his parent class. Now we are going to discuss about polymorphism. So in polymorphism, if one task is performed in different ways, it is known as polymorphism. The word polymorphism means, poly means many, morphism means you can do it in different ways. Polymorphism means ways. So like if a singer can sing in different languages in a different style, that is also a polymorphism. If a cook can cook foods in a different types and different style, that is also a polymorphism. So in Java, we use method overloading and method overriding to achieve polymorphism. Example, a cat speaks meow while dog barks woof. So both are speaking, but their voice are different. So let's see an example so that you will be able to understand it nicely. So I told you like polymorphism can be achieved using two ways. First one is method overloading and second is method overriding. So in method overloading, we'll easily see, don't worry. So first we have class adder. Fine. We have one method. So this is a method. How you can judge that it is a method? By using this parenthesis bracket, you'll be able to know that this is a method. So this method is static. Why it is static? Because we are going to use this method inside main methods, and main method is static. If we are not writing this static over here, then we are not able to use this method inside main method. That's why I've written it static here. So static int means its return type, what this method do, or what this method return after performing the operation, and add is the method name, and the argument I'm passing over here is int a and int b, and it is returning me a plus b. That means if I'm passing 10 and 20 here, so what this method will return me, 10 plus 20 is equal to 30. Very easy. One more method, static int add int a, int b, int c, and it is returning a plus b plus c. So in both the two methods, the only difference is here are two arguments and here are three arguments. Here operation is a plus b, here operation is a plus b plus c. Clear? Now coming to the main class, public class addition. This is the main class where we are going to perform our operation. We have created a main method, and inside this main method, what we are doing is system.out.println, and using the adder class directly we are calling this class inside this class, that is adder. It is directly pointing to this class. Fine. Now dot add, and I told you that dot operation is used to call any method or any function. So after this dot we are going to call add. So I have called this. See, just before I click here, it is actually pointing to this method. So we are passing 11 and 12. Now I think you will be able to know that what this method will do. It will directly add this. You are right. On the second sys out, again I'm calling this adder. Now using dot operator, I'm calling this add. Now you can see that I'm calling this add method. This is also an add method, and this is also an add method. But the moment I click here, it is pointing to this method. Why? Both methods name are same, but due to the presence of argument, it is pointing to this method. Why? Because I am passing three arguments over here. This is what polymorphism is. I am using the same method in a different way. Here I am just adding two arguments. Here I am using three arguments. That means polymorphism. So after passing these three parameters, what it gonna do? It gonna add all the three numbers. Let's run this program. Yeah, you can clearly see 11 plus 22 is 33, while 11 plus 22 plus 33 is 66. I hope you got it. If not, I have one more example. Now coming to the method overloading part, we have already covered method overloading. So this is the second example. So the only difference between this example is here we are changing the number of arguments. That means here I am adding two number. Here I can add three number. In one more method I can add 4, 5, 6 like that. But the only thing will remain same is the method name. Now in the one more example, we are just changing the data type. Data type means for this method we have written int and both were int. Fine. Now in this thing we are going to change this thing only, like this. If this method subtract, I have two method first of all, because the method name should be same for the polymorphism. So here I am passing two argument, again here I am passing two argument, but I'm changing the data type. Here it is int and here it is double. I hope I'm clear. We have two methods with same name subtract but the different data type int and double, and passing the same argument int a, double b. Fine. Now again going to the main method, we can clearly see again we are calling this subject class subclass. We're calling this subtract method and we are passing 100 and 500 in this. So it will point to this because this is an int, because it contains int data type, so it will point to this. The moment I click here, it will point to this method because I have used double function, that means any decimal part. So it is adding this function. So the moment I run it, you can see that 100 plus 50, 100 minus 50 is 50. Sorry, it will perform the subtraction option, and 100.10 minus 50.20 is 0.9.89999. So this is polymorphism method overloading part. Now comes the method overriding part. So in this thing also we'll have the same method name, but here you can see we have two different classes. Previously in method overloading, both the methods were present in the same class. That is the first class. Again you can see. But in method overriding, we have those two methods in different classes. So first class we have class vehicle, we have string s1 two-wheeler, string s2 is equal to four-wheeler. So first method we have in the first class is vehicle, void vehicle info system.out.println Honda CBR and Honda City. Now again for the public class bike extends vehicle. So why we are extending it over here? Because to use the same method in the different class we need to acquire the properties of first class, then only the method name will change. Now why this method overriding is used? For example, if there is some old version and suddenly the new version came, but we are going to use all the protocols and the security thing of the same of the previous one only. So that's why we do this method overriding. For example, manufacturing a TV, daily by daily, month by month, new technologies are coming, but we want to keep over the same structure and same protocol how it is made in the same way. So we will use method overriding. So for example, this is the old version of a TV and this is a new version. So in this new version what we are doing, just we are just replacing few parts of the previous one. So that's why we are using over method overriding. So let's have a look. So this class is extending the previous class so as to use this property and replace few of the things with a new thing. So here let's suppose we have two kind of vehicle, two-wheeler and four-wheeler, and let's suppose there is a three-wheeler recently being introduced into the market. So how we are going to print it? So in the new class I'm introducing string s3 is equal to three-wheeler. Now void vehicle info, again the same method, and here I'm printing system.out.println TVS auto, that is a three-wheeler. Now into the main method, creating an object of bike. Now I'm printing b dot vehicle info, and again creating a object of vehicle, that is the first one, and b dot vehicle info, both method I am calling. So once I'll run this program, I'll get the latest example. I'll get the latest information of what this void vehicle info contains, that is TVS auto three-wheeler, TVS auto three-wheeler. Even making an object of this class also and this class also, what I'm getting is the new value that vehicle info contains. Previously it contains these two information, but I have replaced this information. That means I have overridden this information. Whatever information it has contained previously, now it is being replaced. It was overridden by this statement. That's why I've created two objects to show. So this completes polymorphisms both path, method overloading and overriding. So now we're going to talk about abstraction. So hiding internal details and showing functionality is known as abstraction. For example, phone call, we do not know the internal processing. We do not know the sophisticated process of how the phone works internally, how it is connecting to the other person. We just know that by clicking on some number, we are able to call and we are able to convey our messages. For example, driving a car. We used to know that how to drive a car, but we don't know internally what the engine is doing, how the fuel is being burned. So this is called abstraction, hiding internal details and showing functionality. So looking at an example, we're going to see. So for abstraction, we can achieve abstraction using a class and using an interface. First, we want to look example using a class. So for achieving interface, we are describing a class with the word or keyword called abstract. So we are going to write the abstract keyword just before the class. So this class becomes abstract. So once a class becomes abstract class, it is a mandate that it can contain or it might not contain the abstract methods. Let's suppose this is a draw method. So it can be abstract method or it cannot be an abstract method. Fine. So what is an abstract method? A abstract method is a method which does not contain its body. So in the other methods we have seen that there are curly brackets, and in the curly brackets we might have written some code or some sysout statement to print it on the console. So here you cannot see anything other than this semicolon. So this method doesn't contain any body part. So how to use this method and how to use this class? So we have class called rectangle and we are extending this class called shape. So once we have written the extend keyword, simply means this class rectangle is acquiring all the properties of abstract class shape. Now this rectangle class has its own method called draw. So in that draw method we are displaying I'll draw a rectangle. So you can see how we are using this abstract method. This abstract method contains no body, but we are adding body into the other class by extending the same class shape. So we have written some code inside this draw, and this method was working as a template method without any code. Now again we have a class called circle. Now this class circle is again extending the first class. So this class extending this class, now this class extending this class. So again it will we can use this method called draw, and we can again put some code into it, and now we are putting system.out.println and I'll draw a circle. Fine. Now one more class abstraction example. So inside that we are using a main method. Now we are making an object of class shape. So this is a one more way of writing of creating an object. Here we are putting the name of first class, that is shape, object name as the new keyword, and it's creating an object of circle. After that shape s0 new rectangle. So what it gonna print? It will go to this class and it will look to all the methods what it is containing. Now how these methods are being utilized for the other two classes. So we have created an object of rectangle and circle. We have added line of code into both the classes and we are going to display them here. So first I'll run this program And you can see I'll draw a circle and I'll draw a rectangle. So as we have created an object of circle class here s, using s dot we are calling the function draw, and which is going to be present in the circle class only. So it directly goes to the circle class. And what it is written here in the draw method is I'll draw a circle and you can see it is on the console. Same thing, object of rectangle, that is s0, and what s0 is calling, it is calling the draw method into the rectangle class. This is the draw method and it is calling the draw method, and whatever it is written inside the draw method, that is I'll draw a rectangle, is going to print it on console. So you have covered this abstraction using the class. Now comes to the interface. Like previously I told you, once you describe a class with the abstract keyword, that class becomes abstract, which means that it might contain or it may not contain a method which is being described as abstract. So after that, one more concept comes, that is called an interface. It is like a class only. As you can see, this is like a class only, but this interface is going to be declared using the keyword called interface. I should be small. After that, we are going to describe a method void print. Now the condition here is whatever method you're gonna declare inside the interface is by default abstract. Like if I'm going to write abstract over here, abs ct, so it will become an abstract method. But if I'm going to delete this, then by default it is going to be treated as a default method. It is going to be treated as an abstract method only, because there is no line of code. Fine. If we are going to describe some code inside it, it will give you an error. So after that, public class abs interface implements printable. So this printable interface I am extending. That means after, okay, one more thing, for using the interface we use the word implements, and for using a class we use the word extends. One more thing, now after implementing this interface we are also using this method in our class. You can see here public void print, I'm using the same method. Now we are adding some code into that method because previously there was no code. So we have added system.out.println printing. Now we are using the main method. In main method, I am creating an object of the same class which I am into, that is abs interface, and the object name is abs, and using the new keyword this object is generated. Now calling the function, that is print, calling the method, I'm using the object name. Now the dot operator will call all the methods which are declared in the class, and here is only one method, so that print method is called, and we have written the print method over here. The moment I'll run this program, I'll get printing. So here you cover your interface part or the abstraction part using interface. Now we're going to talk about encapsulation. So binding or wrapping code and data together into a single unit is known as encapsulation. Again, I'm reading, binding code and data together into a single unit is called encapsulation. For example, a capsule, it is wrapped with different medicine. Like if I take an example of a capsule, what its content contains combination of medicine, like stored in a plastic covering, like that. So encapsulation works like that only. So in this OOPS concept, the variable of a class are always hidden, and other classes, it can only be accessed using the method of the current class. I'll show you an example, and from that you'll be able to clear your doubts. So as of now, I'll just tell you that a capsule contains all the medicine are being utilized within the capsule only. What this definition is want to say. So while looking into an example, we're gonna clearly see. So first we have a class called account. Fine, this is a class. This class is described till here. Okay, now we're gonna look it by line by line. We have first variable called account number, and that is int. Why we have written this private over here? We have written this private over here because so that this int account number can only be used within this class only. No other thing is able to use this thing. So for making any class encapsulated class, fully qualified and encapsulated class, we need to describe all the parameters, all the attributes with private keyword. So again you can see we have string, name and email. again described as private, and double amount also described as private. Now, what we're gonna do? We are going to generate the setters and getters. So, what are setters and getters? To give value to account number, to give value to name, to give value to email, to give value to amount. We use some set method that is pre-described in the Java. So to set the values, like to set value account number as 101, to set name as Dell, to set an amount as 1000. We use a set method. So you can see this is the set method. It is pre-described in Java. So public void set account number int account number, this dot account number is equal to account number. So how to generate these setters and getters? You can write it by yourself, or you can order Eclipse to do it for you. So you have to right click on your empty screen, means the empty part. Now go to the source and generate getters and setters. The type contains no fields, or the fields getters already. So as this file contains already the setters and getters generated, so this option is not coming. Okay, so first I told you about the set method. Now I'll talk about the get method. Now once you have set the value, now you need to fetch that value. So for that they have made one more method called get method. So after setting this method, you can get those values using this get method. These both are being generated using setters and getters method. Now I'll show you how to generate this. Here I have deleted everything. Now after creating this class, after creating all the attributes as private, just click on the empty part, go to source, then go to generate getters and setters. Now it will show you what all the properties or what all the attributes you have declared. Now once cross check 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, yes, fine, select all, or you can it is of your choice, like what is being needed or what is not being needed, but I'm selecting here over because I want to make it a fully encapsulated class. Now once I click OK, you can see everything is generated. Now the Eclipse is doing it for you. Isn't it good? Now we have created one more class called Encapsulation EX. Now I'm creating an object of account. Why I'm creating an object of account, not of Encapsulation EX? Because we want to use these attributes of this class. So now when I'm using this account A, now I am setting the value like A dot set account number using that same method. Like A is being used as an object, and dot operator is being used to call that method called set account number, which is already being described. You can see it here. Now what I'm setting into this method, I'm passing 201389990. The value goes into this, and it is going to be set. Same thing, a dot set name Raju, a dot set email, a dot set amount. Now all these values are being set into these attributes. Now how to get these values? For printing it on the console, we will use system.out.println a dot get account number, a dot get name, a dot get email, a dot get amount. These get methods are already described. I told you, like this you can see. So I'm putting all the things in system.out.println. Once I hit the run button, you'll get all the information. Account number, name, email, and amount. So that's all for encapsulation. You have clearly seen how I'm describing all the values into the bean class, and that is account class, and how I am just setting and getting the values. Thank you.